It's your boy Ric James. I'm gonna teach you guys how to make some Spanish rice. Now when I say Spanish rice, I guess I should call it Tex-Mex rice, because this isn't the orange rice that you get in every taqueria here in California that's orange with no fucking flavor. Looks like white rice. They just color it orange. I actually put a lot of seasonings in my shit, so I wanted to let you guys know what seasonings come in the rice, how to make the rice. Very simple. You guys are gonna be like, that's it? That's all it fucking takes? Yes. All right, so onions, tomatoes. So we've got some onions, tomatoes. As you can see, diced them up, cooked it out. And then the 6 seasonings that I normally use are, gotta get some salt, gotta get some accent. You know, you haven't had the accent, you gotta do that. Garlic salt, some black pepper, and what would normally be the Old Bay. I took the top off because I mixed it all together. I've already prepped it all. And then my seasoned salt that I normally get is the McCormick shit. I don't like that Lowry's bullshit. We're not making barbecue sauce, none of that shit. So get the McCormick and don't get the low sodium. Just work out and drink a lot of water, motherfuckers. So that's what you see is all my shit. Now I prepped it because I know most people don't want to see you chopping up onions and tomatoes. You guys can figure that out. Another thing I wanted to say is when you guys ask for the measurements are called by sight, okay? However you want your shit to taste is how you should make your food. So put as much salt, as much pepper, as much Old Bay, as much whatever you want in it. I'm not gonna give you the measurements, I'm just gonna tell you what I put in it. So everybody varies. The other important thing, the reason I haven't started browning the rice is because you should get a nice little pan, something about 2 cups that'll work for you. So let's go ahead and get it started. We're going to use a little vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever the fuck you guys got. Put that in there. You put enough oil that it covers the rice. So again, measurements are as much as you want it to be. I'd say maybe a cup and a half, 2 cups. I do it enough where it's going to where it's going to cover the bottom of the pan. Might have to add more rice, might have to add more oil. As you can see, pretty much all the rice is covered in oil, so it's not going to stick, and that's the way you want it. Alright? You're going to let it cook, you're going to let it sit. Those of you that don't know how to cook rice, adjust the flame. Adjust the flame, however fast you can cook it up. I'm normally fast enough where I can actually be browning the rice while I'm cutting up my onions and tomatoes and getting everything done all at the same time. So I'm gonna keep this hidden in the pan only because my girl's Asian and she said you're not supposed to do that because the Asian demons will come after you and eat baby children or some stupid superstitious bullshit that Asian people have. So I'm gonna keep hitting the pan because I know she loves it. The other thing I haven't said is you guys should have a pot of water boiling or a kennel, something, enough water that's gonna cover the rice. And I guess another thing Asians got right is it's up to the fingertip, right? Is how you should cover it up to the first knuckle, is how much you should cover your rice, and that should be enough. So again, these measurements, don't put your finger in the fucking thing unless you want to burn it off and look like your boy Ric James, alright? Stupid. And lastly, you guys are going to want to use tomato sauce, alright? Tomato sauce, 1 tomato sauce in there as well. So you got your onions, tomatoes, seasonings, your bouillon, which is normally chicken flavored. You can use a bouillon cube. You can buy it in this big ass thing like this. If you're cheap and you're Mexican, you probably have one of these big ass cups. So maybe a tablespoon of that. Nice little brown. If you want to get fancy with it and you want it to taste super authentic, you can, if you making chicken that day too, you can use the broth from the chicken. Tastes way better, but your rice is going to come out more oily. So, as you can see, the rice is browning. And I might have to add more seasoning because I don't know if it's enough. I'll show you how. Again, same way I put oil all over the rice, and you can see it's the same way I want my seasoning on my rice, and that's the way I like it flavored, because I want to make sure every bit of rice has seasoning in it. So if I didn't use enough on my tomatoes and onions, this is the 6 seasonings. This is Daddy's mix, aka Ric James mix, aka Make Your Panties Wet mix. All right. See, people, the least amount that you'd want your rice to look like is this brown. If you want it darker than this, keep cooking it, just don't burn it. Probably this area right here is the way I'm trying to get my whole rice. That to me looks good. You'll add in your tomatoes, onions, seasoning first. Love that sound if you're a cook. And start smelling the flavors. I will tell you, I normally use a lot more seasoning. So I'm going to add a little bit more. And I'm probably not going to use as much as I normally do, because I know I like my rice a little spicier than most people. But again, you're going to mix it all in there. And I'll list down the 6 seasonings. If you guys aren't hip on Old Bay, then you don't know a good goddamn seasoning. But I will say that is a seasoning that I use on everything. So as you can see, it's almost all coated. I probably would add a little bit more if it was my rice, but since I'm feeding other people, I'm going to do it for their taste, not mine. So that's it. You kind of just saute those onions and tomatoes to a certain point, that those get just right. I will say this, if you saw that first point, I put in all the seasonings. At this point you can put in corn, but only real Mexicans put in goddamn corn. That's when you're trying to feed 20 people on a 12-person budget. Okay, goddamn it, that's when you add in the extra corn. Personally, I don't like any vegetables in my shit besides those onions and tomatoes. Other than that, that's all that you need. That, see how everything's nicely cooked in there? And you'll add this in. There's your tomato sauce. If you're cheap like me, get all the tomato sauce. Add some more water in there. That around. Don't forget to pound that pan. And that's it. Throw in some water. water. As much water as you think will be right. Last important step is to make sure none of this rice is stuck to the bottom. So stir it around so it can all cook evenly. And all those vegetables will probably end up on the outside of it. Like, where's the top? You're going to simmer it right now, and I will turn it to about at least half. Throw the top on. You're done. Come back. Check it in about 20 minutes or so. 15-20 minutes. You should be good. So you put the top on after you stir it around. Get your stuff. Lower down the temperature. Get it to about medium, if not, depending upon your size of the pan. And it should cook for about 15-20 minutes. Once you start seeing no more water above the rice, if you want perfect rice, you'll turn it off and let it finish cooking itself for about another 20 minutes, and you should have perfect rice. All right? All right, you guys, we are done. I just wanted to show you what the end product's gonna be. So,
I love
there
it.
it is.
Hell, fuck yeah!
Once it gets to this point, you can turn the shit off and let it finish cooking itself. So that is how your rice should look. Please hit the subscribe button down low.